지금 나는 너에게 또 다른 미친 남자에 대해서 말할 시간이라고 생각해요.
A few moments later.
The last thing I heard from him was him telling me I should cheat on my boyfriend. Hey guys, it's CC Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel. Last week I did a storytime video about the Nami guy and the first time I was ghosted and all that stuff. And in that video I mentioned the Nami guy, the British guy, and the Valentine's Day guy. And a few in the comments asked, who's the Valentine's Day guy? Like, we want to hear more about him. So we hung out in February of 2018. That's when we first met on Tinder. And I called him the Valentine's guy because we first hung out on Valentine's Day. We went to see Black Panther. We met up in Gangnam. After the movie, we went to get dinner. Do you guys know dakgalbi? It's like chicken that they like prepare in like a huge barbecue style thing on your table, and they like mix it up for you. There's like rice and kimchi and cheese and all that's all sorts of like yummy stuff in it. I just need to say this because he was just like way too pretty. Like, he was too handsome. Like, I just knew I was being catfished. First of all, he didn't really look Korean. Like, he looked ambiguous. Like, I didn't know what his background was. Maybe like half Latino, half Filipino. I don't know what he was, but he was tan, which is unusual for Koreans, which I love a good glow, a good health. I need my boy to glow. Like, I need a tan. All my life I've been raised, you know, you're taught that looks really aren't everything, and it's true. He was absolutely gorgeous, but so boring. Like, I couldn't really get anything out of him. Like, I was trying. Like, I'm trying to get you to talk to me, to say stuff, and just tell me about yourself, something.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
So yeah, after dinner, we decided to walk around. It was funny because people were staring at us a lot, which I'm used to. But he kept looking at me like, why are so many people staring at us? I'm like, gee, I wonder why they look at you and look at me and stare.
Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
He was really quiet though. There's nothing I hate more than like that awkward silence. So I couldn't get anything out of him. Like, I asked about what music he was into, recent movies he saw, TV shows he liked, sports he watched,
etc.
You know, I figured sometimes it happens where, you know, you're just not into the person when you meet them in person. I figured I'd show him some mercy and just try and cut this short. So I'm like, oh, it's getting late and it's really cold, and I live 2 hours from here, so I should just get on the bus and head home. He's like, why? You don't want to talk? I'm like, boy, you don't want to talk. Like, you're not saying anything. You're giving me nothing. Like, this is the driest conversation ever. He insisted that he still wanted to talk and hang out, so we're just walking around. And what ended up lightening the mood a bit was when I almost fell on some ice a few times. That kind of got the conversation flowing. He was laughing, which I didn't know he could laugh because he had not laughed this whole day. Only thing I really could get out of him was about like his blog. Like, he was an artist, like a pretty good artist. Like, I can't even hate. He had this blog. He showed me all these pictures and paintings, and it was really good. I was like, there's no way you did this by yourself. And he asked me, oh, so what do you like to do in your spare time? And all I do was like watch videos online and everything. So he asked me about my favorite YouTubers and what YouTube videos I like to watch. And I told him I'm really into like Jacksepticeye, and I like to watch Monsta X dance practice videos because them boys be moving. And he said he likes to dance even though he's not really good at it. He said, but he only does that when he's drunk. So I was like, oh, well, we gotta see you drunk eventually. He's like, yeah, maybe next time. I'm like, next time? Like, there's barely a this time. After about 30-40 minutes, we're literally just walking around outside. So he walks me back towards the bus terminal and I go home. Now this is the mid-February, so the Olympics is about to start. So I had a friend who lived in Gangnam where the Olympics were, and she invited me out. And mind you, I'll talk about this in another video that I'm planning to talk about more about the talk program, because this was a time where I was off of work, fully paid from like around New Year's all the way until March 12th, where I just had nothing to do, no sort of work, and I was fully paid. So I had a lot of free time on my hands. So she invited me to Gangneung, and I'm just taking everything in. You know, it's snowy, there's so many foreigners, which, oh my gosh, like diversity. And they got that twerk, 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 35 to the strip. If you need a nigga, hit me on the church. And you know I got that down. What's he on? It's the light. One thing that was really funny is during the Olympics on Tinder, oh my god, there were so many Olympians on Tinder. I'm like, y'all need to be focusing on training and getting that gold medal. Like, y'all trying to get the wrong thing. Like, so we did keep in touch after we met up, and I'm in Gangneung with my friend, hanging out, you know, during the Olympic time. I'm replying to messages a little slower than I normally would, being at home with nothing to do and no work to get done. So he started to get a little upset with me replying slower and taking longer to answer his messages. Like, it was weird because he was so much more flirty, like texting me, than he was in person. I'm like, there's no way you're the same person. Like, who are you? So the next time we met up actually wasn't for a while. We hung out in February, and then we met up again in April. Actually, the night before I was supposed to go to Nami with the British guy, he messaged me and he said, hey, what are you up to? And I was like, oh, I'm just at my guest house. And he said, oh, I need to find a comb. I was like, I suggest Olive Young or Etude House. I don't know what do you want me to tell you. Then he said he wanted to go to Dongdaemun. Now Dongdaemun is like a shopping hub. They have like these malls and like all sorts of like discount retailers. Like, there's a lot of people trying to sell you stuff in Dongdaemun. So he said he wanted to go there, and I said, sure, you should. But he said, no, I want you to come with me. I'm like, to find a comb? Because he was about to go to Bangkok with a friend, and he needed a comb for his hair. So we ended up going to Dongdaemun. So we're walking along the street, and I'm getting hungry, and I see like the little street food vendors and everything, and I was like, should we get some food? He said he wasn't hungry. So I said, well, I am. So I went to get a chicken skewer, and they're so freaking good. Then out of nowhere, he asked me for a bite. I'm like, you just told me you were not hungry. Now, I am not technically a germaphobe. I know people eat after each other when you're friends, when you're family, and you just don't really care. But herpes is forever, so I don't do that unless you let my man or my friends or my family. I don't know you. This is my second time hanging out with you. Like, even when my kids like to feed me snacks and stuff, like, it's so sweet, so I really can't be mad. But like, I just saw you outside in the dirt and then you want to come in, teacher, and I'm like, oh, just put it right here in my hand, and they're like, I teacher, and I'm just like, you're so sweet, thank you. I just let him have it. I said, you know what, you can have the whole thing. I tried to take the piece that like I just bit off of so he wouldn't have to have that one, but he wanted that one too, so I'm like, okay. But after he wanted the rest of my chicken skewer, I said, so should we just get food then? Because like, clearly you're hungry. We saw this place that had like a cutout sort of thing, like an advertisement showing that Running Man had filmed there, and I was like, can we go there? Like, I love Running Man. We sat down, and he started telling me about this app he was working on, where it's like supposed to make your phone battery look more dead than it is. So like, your friend would let you charge your phone before. I don't remember the details. I think we may have split like a bottle of soju at this point, and he started telling me about this teacher that he had this relationship with when he was in high school. This illegal relationship he had with his teacher in high school, if you catch my meaning. He went into graphic detail about how she would flirt with him in their art class because she was his art teacher. She would invite him over to her neighborhood and they would eat together. Then she would let him spend the night but sleep on the floor, and then gradually other things happened. Like, what do you even say to that? This is the second time I've hung out with you and you're telling me this already? And the more and more I learned about him with this conversation, I knew I did not like him like that. Like, nope, we can be friends, but I don't like you. Like, no. And the crazy thing was, after he got done telling me this story, his phone rang, and he, you know, like, shushed me and told me to be quiet, which one does anyway, out of respect. The lady, the teacher, had called him, and I'm like, who was that? Just out of curiosity, because his face, he looked like he didn't really want to be on the phone. Like, I was, okay, maybe it's a parent, like, where are you? It's late. But it turns out it was the teacher, and I was like, y'all are still in communications with each other? He's like, yeah, well, she threatened to hurt herself if I wouldn't answer her calls and stop talking to her. I'm like, Like, what do you even say to this, bro? Like, oh my god. And then I can't help but wonder how she would have reacted if she heard another female's voice in the background or something. I should have trolled him. I should have been like, Oppa, no 배고파요, or just something funny like that. But I'm not petty. So after that, we only met up one more time. And actually, it was totally just by chance. My friend had invited me and another friend to like this meetup. It's like a social meetup. Foreigners can meet up there, or Korean people who speak really good English enough or confidently enough to like want to meet foreigners. He asked me what I was doing. I was like, oh, I'm actually in Gangnam waiting to meet up with my friends. He said, you're in Gangnam? No way, so am I. And I was like, oh, what are the odds? So he's like, hey, are you hungry? And I mean, I was. Like I said, we could be friends. I wasn't interested in him like that at all anymore at this point. We met up, we went to some noodle place. We were literally the only two people there. And he's just going on about like, you know, his Tinder girl problems and his teacher problems. And his phone rang again, so I'm like, I know the drill. So he's like yelling at, like, I'm just like, oh my god, this is so awkward. I'm just like, I gotta figure out a way to cut this short. Like, I need to go. And then this is also around the time where I was starting my YouTube channel, and I was trying to find this camera that I'm using right now somewhere that was cheaper. And he was helping me with that a bit. Like, he's like, oh, have you tried this place? Have you tried this site? Because on Gmarket, they were ridiculous. Anyway, after he's complaining, after he gets off the phone, I'm like, yeah, so I'm gonna go. Like, you know, it was nice meeting up with you. Thanks for lunch and all that. But then he said, oh, can I go with you? I'm just like, bro, like, no. So I just lied and I said, oh, it's girls only. I'm sorry. And he asked me, like, did he say something wrong? Did he do something wrong? Why didn't I want to hang out? And I said, it's not that, like, I was already here to meet other friends. So he's like, okay, you know, that's fine, have fun. And we didn't talk for about 6 weeks or so. Now at this time, it's like mid-June, so I'm already dating my then boyfriend. I did a vlog about our first date and I guess our second date too. And he messaged me, he's like, I've been seeing your YouTube videos and you're a really natural talker. Something about pillow talk, and asked me if I like wrote out a script. I'm like, no. So he saw the vlogs with the first date and the second date and asked who he was, and I just said, oh, he's just this guy that I've been talking to and I really like him. He's really sweet, like he's a cool guy. Like, we've actually hung out several times now and he has not gotten weird, creepy, or pervy in any way. And he asked me if I really liked him and I said, yeah, I think so. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, pretty sure. We didn't hang out anymore after that, but we were still talking like sporadically. Fast forward now to like the end of September. He saw the video I made about me and him dating and how he had left to go back to the States for school, and he asked me how I felt about that and all that stuff. And honestly, I was venting to anyone who would listen. I did resent him a bit in a way, because throughout those few months that we were hanging out, he was really, you know, like, oh, we should just be a couple, you should be my girlfriend. And I kept saying no because I knew he was about to leave, and I know I don't do well with long distance. But I gave in on the last day of our Hong Kong trip. So we became a couple, even though it became long distance for the rest of that time. Yeah, I was mad and I kind of vented a bit. And this is while I was out with my friends. And he sent me these screenshots saying that I should be free and it's not cheating. I'm taking care of myself and my needs first. And I'm just like, okay. So that was the last time we ever talked. The last thing I heard from him was him telling me I should cheat on my boyfriend. He's like, it's not cheating. So we did not talk again after that. Moral to the story, kids, looks really are not everything. They have to be an awesome, cool person as well. So that was my story time about the Valentine's Day, guys, since so many of you asked. Thanks for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Annyeong.